Good morning, Lunatics, and happy Friday's Eve. I just wanted to let y'all know that I appreciate y'all's productivity. Today is Wednesday hump day, and it's 3:48. So I'm looking at y'all's productivity right now, and everyone is doing really great, and I appreciate the focus. And the quality of the conversations y'all are having is just outrageous. So thank you very much for the talk time as well. So I just wanted to throw this video out there and when you had some time, because everybody's in different regions, y'all could take the time and just go through this video. So one of the things that I wanted to share with us first is how to be successful from the remote work station, right? So I share this little screen with you right now, and this is what it says: experiment with your work setup, right? Have a creative and create boundaries for work versus at home. Number 3, prepare for your meetings, right? Any meetings, any webinars we have, be on time, prepare, look at the invite. Okay, please look at the invite. Numerous reps on our team have either been late to a webinar meeting or have not even opened the invite. I'm going to be sending y'all stuff because I don't see you often. You're going to have homework for our meetings, so please make sure that you're coming prepared to our meetings. Create accountability for yourself. Have a cadence, have a schedule. Be visible at work, right? We have team huddles. We've got Skype. Make sure that you're accessible. I say that as one of y'all are calling me and I'm making this video. So communicate clearly and effectively, both with me, with your team, with your customers. If you're going to be out, you need to let me know that you're going to be out. And it needs to be like as soon as you find out. Work on your health, right? So we've been doing our squats challenge, our push-up challenge, which, by the way, y'all should be doing that. I actually ran this morning, something I hadn't done in a while, so I'm very proud of that. And then set clear responsibilities for yourself. What are you expected to do? Some of those are our sales expectations. You should already know those, right? 45 calls, 2-hour talk time, creating opportunities, walking through the opportunities in the pipeline, talking to your team. Make sure that you're checking in on your team as well. And then take time for socialization. So take time to step away on your breaks. Call your mom, call your dad, call your siblings, call your kids. Make sure that you're stepping away from your computer and your workspace and giving yourself that mental break. It does a tremendous difference in your sales calls too. So it's going to be short and sweet, and then next week I'm going to have a very lengthy edition of how to sell during COVID-19, specific for HD Supply. So I hope that you tune into that. So some of the things that I just want us to kind of comes to terms with, right? This is our new reality. So there's some things that we need to kind of, okay, this is my new normal. One of them is our cadence is going to be our best friend. I talked about how to be successful, and one of those was having a schedule and having a cadence. Make sure that you are sticking to your schedule. Make sure that you are being on time, and quality matters, right? So I just said, be prepared. Make sure you've done your homework. Same thing for our calls. Make sure that when we have the opportunity to have these calls, we're having quality calls, we're gaining more information, we're actively listening to them. Another one, accept that it's going to be a slow and hard process right now. But you know what? I have to say, we had a warm-up year. HD Supply Multifamily had a warm-up year. Last year, if you think about what we went through last year, we have COVID. We're good. Like we already had all the practice that we needed. Last year we had GAO too. Okay. Even if you weren't in that region, it impacted your sales somehow. It impacted your deliveries somehow. So we've gone through that. We've gone through the shortages. We've gone through the inventory not being in the same as it is in SAP. We have those conversations. We have those experiences that we don't need to be frantic over the phone. We've had those conversations for a year now, right? You've got this. We had GEO too. We had, our digital quoting tool. It got messed up and got messed around with, right? And there was new things and new features that we had to learn as well as our customers. It's no different than right now. So again, we have a leg up not only on our competition, but we have a leg up on our FARs and even just internally. Like we've gone through this, we've got this. So we've gone through GO2, we went through our digital quoting system not working, and then at the end of the year, just an old, hey, by the way, I'm leaving, right? So then we lost our director. Doesn't matter. We don't need a director. We have the leadership team that we're not going anywhere. You have six very fierce leaders that are going to fight for you. So you keep doing your job. We're going to keep doing ours for you. Okay. So accept it's going to be hard, accept it's going to be a slow process. It's going to be something different, but we've already had that practice for a good year. Another thing, recognize that our clients are now the heroes, right? Our clients are putting themselves in harm's way. They're exposing themselves to tons of families, right? Multiple people in a very confined area where and it's in their home. So hopefully that they're clean, but some may not be clean, right? And some may not care as much about this virus than others. And so our poor customers, our maintenance guys are exposing themselves to that. So let's find best practices to help them when they actually have to make that call, right? We've talked a lot about filters. Hey, Mr. Customer, I know that you're still doing emergency work orders, and I would just say, why don't you just buy a box of filters? That way, when you're going and doing the emergency work orders, you can take a filter with you if you have to go into that unit and leave it. So that way you don't have another work order where it could potentially expose you later. And while we're on that note of filters, right, we can talk about MERV, upgrading the MERV, how that's going to help. Upgrading the MERV will also, or the pleated filters will help them by not having to go in every 30 days. So talk about that. Choose to practice compassion and empathy and patience. This will help build in your relationship. So that is a little bit more difficult for some people, right? So the best way to show compassion and empathy and patience, if you're not used to it, or maybe if that's just not a technique that you're very strong in, is to actively listen. When you're listening and then you repeat back what you've heard and you seek for that clarity or that understanding from the customer, it shows that you care enough and you were listening. And so it builds on that trust and it builds on that relationship. So call your fist five, right? So we need to show love to our ride or die customers. Call your fist five. So I don't know if y'all remember way back in the day, T-Mobile had Fab Five or My Fave Five or something like that. Well, my little sister used to say, who are your fist five? Who are the 5 people that are going to throw it down for you, right? So call those 5 customers. Call them either if they're your top accounts, right? Those top generating revenue generating accounts. If they're the relationship building accounts that you have, where y'all have a bigger relationship than just being customers, make sure that that property is taken care of, right? So show love to your fist five, your fab five, whatever you want to call it, your ride or die customers. Make sure that they're taken care of. I heard when we were leaving about 2 weeks before we all left the office, Nidra sits right behind me. And a lot of people were calling her asking for like Lysol and toilet paper. And she was calling her customers, her top customers, and she was saying, all these people that I have never talked to before are figuring out that they can buy Lysol from me. And I want to make sure you're taken care of before these people that I've never talked to before get this Lysol, right? You've been with me for 5 years. You've been with me for 4 years. You've been with me for 2 years, and I appreciate your loyalty. And so I want to make sure that you're going to be taken care of during this time. So what do you need, right? Reconnect with your old accounts and your old opportunities. This is where pre-call planning comes back into play, right? So reconnect with those old accounts that stop spending from you as frequently. Get in contact with them, build that rapport again, build that relationship again. Your old opportunities that we've canceled or deferred. This is huge, 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 huge. So call on those. when you're looking through your pre-call plan and you see cancel defer on there, look at that. See, is it an outdoor project that they can do? Is it something simple and easy that is appropriate for right now? Um, you never know. So look through those old and past due opportunities and see if it's something that's viable and you can bring back to life. Um, so also, use your hit list, right? We've talked a lot. Jill, I know Jill's team has talked about this. Use your hit list, do zero spend accounts, do your back order reports, and be strategic when you're doing these hit lists, right? So if you're doing back order reports, don't look at the whole thing and try and tackle it one by one by one by one. Ooh, pick an item that we know we have stock and inventory in. If it's those large gloves or those XL gloves, look through the list. Oh, they've got gloves that's medium. I don't care. Let me call them up, right? Hey, I know that you needed a size medium in gloves. Those are back ordered for like 3 weeks. Do you want these XLs? Also, I have some rubber bands that you can just put around. That way it stays uncontaminated. I think that's what Trevor said the other day, right? So, yeah, be smart about the way that you approach your hit list. Invoice details a good one, right? That's on our dashboards. Utilize it. Utilize every dashboard you have. National win back. That's a big one too. I just submitted it in our team huddle chat. So if you didn't see that, look for Wednesday. Look for early in the morning. It's an Excel sheet. You can filter through it and you can see what you can call on. And then ask your peers, guys. You have peers that are experts in different areas. Ask Brandon, call on him, Skype him, send him an email. If you've got a question about a reno or if you've got a question about how to approach a certain reno or certain service, reach out to Mia, reach out to Lucy. You've got your senior reps, your senior reps, reach out to each of them, reach out to the veterans on our team. We've got a lot of them, right? We've got Daryl, we've got Bev, we've got Faulkner. We've got Trevor and Bobby and Tony. So reach out to some of these people if you're having questions or concerns. And then you always have your managers. So that's really just all I wanted to share with you, just some tips and some best practices. And I hope this helps. It's just a little chunk of what we're going to talk about next week. So I'm going to start doing these videos halfway through the week. You'll get a video from me and you can, watch it on your own time. Next week, our topic is selling despite COVID-19. So I'm actually going to give you real world scenarios of what would have happened, anywhere from 2 weeks ago to a month ago, and the scenario, very similar scenario, and how you should respond now. So I'm going to give you some real world approaches and some tactics to use, and hopefully that helps. Well, y'all have a good day. And again, happy Friday Eve, and I will talk to y'all soon.